Okay, so the last video on naming different shapes and things like that, the basics of Chapter 2, I wanted to show you exactly what we struggled with on the quiz, or at least some of us struggled with on the quiz, so that it can help you with this. All right, let's go through just these shapes that we have to name. Okay, so this topic here was name figures using the diagram below. What this is just saying is AHD is a straight path. Okay, so it's a line, right? AHD, we're just going to separate that. What we're saying is that's going to create a 180-degree angle if you move from, side AH to side HD. Okay, so that's all it's saying. Okay, it doesn't jog off or anything like that. Likewise, BHF, that's a straight path, so that's going to be important to us. This symbol right here is the right angle symbol. What that means, another way to write that could be something like this. CH is perpendicular to AD at point H. You could see things like that. Perpendicular is that symbol right there. Okay, we've talked about it, but just a reminder. So the right angle symbol is that box in the corner. So the first question was name a right angle shown in the diagram below. We had some trouble with angle. First, it's got to be this symbol, okay? The reason I put the little arc in there like this is I don't want you to confuse it with the less than symbol. So we have to use a three-letter path, C to H to D. Now, an equivalent, you could go D to H to C, okay? So when we do that, here's what you got to understand. If we move from C to H to D, we've created that angle, okay? Now, somebody did do this correctly, okay? And another one, there is another right angle. It's this one, A to H to C. That's okay as well, right? Because if it's a line, that's a 90, then the other one's a 90 if you go all the way from here to here. So there's a lot of options. All right, next question, AHD. Okay, AHD. If we follow the path from A to H to D, that's a whole 180-degree angle, and that is called a straight angle. Okay, whoops. So it's a straight angle. What type of angle? All right, we had some folks call it a collinear. That's not a type of angle. We had some folks call it a line. That's not an angle. It's a straight angle. Yes, it makes a line, but it's a straight angle. We've got to answer that question. Next one, EHB and what angle are a linear pair? Let me get rid of some stuff here so we can focus on just that question. So what is it? EHB, EHB. So follow that path. It's not easy, but we got to follow the path. E to H to what? B? Okay, right there. This angle right here. And what other angle do we need to make a linear pair? Well, this is our line, so it must mean that we need the rest of it from here to here, right? So let's name that one. That is angle, the angle symbol, EHF. And that completes the straight angle. The linear pair, right? It's two angles next to each other. Okay, so two adjacent angles that together, you know, will create a straight angle or a line, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so that wasn't too bad on the quiz, but could have been better. All right, next one. AHB, AHB. Let's just go ahead and highlight that. If you have to redraw, because you guys don't have the ability to erase like I do here, redraw it and just focus on that. Okay, if I was doing this problem, that's probably what I'd do. Okay, I would just focus on A to H to B. That angle right there. All right, and what angle are a pair of complementary angles? So if we have this angle right here, AHB, and next to, which is over here, we have this right angle at CHD. right? If this side from here to here is a right angle, well, that's where we get the other right angle that we're looking for. Believe it or not, AHC is also a right angle, even though it's not marked, because this whole angle is 180. If that's a right angle, it's 90. You could do the math, the other one's 90. So that's what's going to happen every time. Now if we throw an angle in there where we split those two angles, it's not necessarily evenly, but we do have a pair of complementary angles. Complementaries add to 90. All right, so we already saw angle AHB. The other angle is the rest of the 90, which is, looks like angle BHC. All right, next, angle FHD. And what angle are a pair of vertical angles? That's essentially the point of these statements. That's what we're talking about right there. So let's take a look. Why is this fact important? Because if we talk about angle FHD, right? So let's follow that path. FHD. That's the angle from here to here. What we got to find is a line, right, to work with. Okay. Oh, yes, sorry. Vertical angles. Okay, so vertical angles. The reason this line is in place is our definition of vertical angles is two angles who have opposite rays as their sides. Okay, so there's a pair of opposite rays right there, right? That's one of the sides. Now this side right here is an opposite ray with this one. These are a pair of opposite rays. So what we end up getting is that's your pair of vertical angles. So we got to go with angle AHB. Okay, angle AHB. All right, opposite rays. We just talked about that. There's a lot of choices. Okay, they've got to make a line. So you want to use something like that they gave us. AHD is a line. Let's get rid of all this stuff. So if AHD is a line, right? What we would need for opposite rays is we'd need H to A and H to D, because they'd make a 180. Right? Opposite rays should make a 180-degree angle. So it's HA, the ray symbol, and H, what's it say? D, it looks like. Okay. Now I know HA is going left, but we still have to write the symbol from left to right. It's just got to happen. What you should notice with opposite rays is their end point. Believe it or not, that's actually an end point, even though it seems like we start there. We do, but it's actually called an end point. You have to have the same end point, and they have to make a 180-degree angle together, or a straight angle. Now, HA, it's hard to see, I get that, but it's just the top part right here, okay? So it's not a full angle symbol, or full arrow. It's just the top part of the arrow. So HA with this symbol is a directed segment. Okay, we had a lot of trouble with that one. All right, HE bisects angle FHD. Okay, so we got to get that down. So I start with angle FHD. Okay, I'll highlight that. Angle FHD is from here to here. And if HE bisects it, that means you're going to create two angles that are congruent. The one from here to here is going to be congruent to the other one. So we need to name that pair of angles. Angle FHE is going to be congruent to angle EHD. All right, and that was one of the tougher parts of this test or quiz. We lost a lot of points on some of this stuff, and I get it. It takes time for us to understand how to name things, slow down, go back over things several times to make sure that we're talking about the right thing. So slow down on these kinds of problems, really draw it out, separate the diagrams when we need to, and let's fix this. All right? Thanks so much.